yeah, if I was starting over a wardrobe, yeah, I would have a $500,000 budget. Okay, make believe. Hush. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm a little overwhelmed today. Okay, I was looking for a place to record, and I found a place, and then I forgot my SD card, and then I had to go back downstairs to the apartment, and then I got the SD card, and on the way to the spot that I found in the hallway, I put my SD card in the camera and it flew out, and then I lost it for like 5 minutes, and the whole time it was underneath my bag on the floor. And then when I got to the spot that I was going to record in, some lady was in there, and I was like, damn it, we just passed each other. I could have sworn you're going to go into the work area, not this room, but damn it. Okay, but we're here, and maybe I'll use it later for another video recording. But now that I've got that out the way, because we're here, we like to connect, y'all like to know what's going on with me. Welcome back. And if you're new here, sorry for the rant. My name's Carolyn Gray. This is my channel. I talk about all things in and around fashion. I show you my lifestyle living in New York as an entrepreneur, content creator, and an adult, which most of the time has been really ghetto. I want to go back in the womb. But yeah, we like to have a good old kiki and giggle together. We definitely do. So welcome if you're new. I'm actually answering a question that I got a little while back on YouTube Live. Someone had asked me if I had to start all over again with a wardrobe, how would I go about rebuilding, and what would I pick? You know, I've always been a lover or an appreciator, because Lord knows I get bored, of like the 33 wardrobe number rule. Like, you have 33 pieces, you interchange those things throughout a month's time. Great for uniform, great for just not having to think too hard about how to match and style your wardrobe. I'm also a lover of the 333 styling method as well, where you have 3 tops, 3 bottoms, 3 shoes, and you interchange them as well. And I think that it's really important to always shop with a mindset of, if I can style this 3 to 7 ways in my mind with what I have at home, with this new piece that I'm looking to invest in, it's a good way of shopping. That's how I kind of approach my own shopping. It just has to be something that pairs well with other things in my wardrobe. Now, yes, do we impulse shop? Of course. Yes. Do we find things that we didn't really think through, and now it's just kind of sitting there in the wardrobe and we're like, oh my God, what am I going to do with it? Of course. But how I would approach starting all over again would be really intentional, and it would have to build, connect, and interchange with each other really evenly. So I wrote down a list of things that I was just like, you know, one item per silhouette. I'm thinking this is how I would go about it. Number one, I would actually get an oversized button-down shirt, but I would get it with really strong lapel or collar, not lapel, collar, and a really extended strong cuff for the drama, to wear underneath blazers, to wear on its own, to prop it up, something that washes well and easily, and doesn't break down over time, something with a really strong cotton blend, mostly natural fiber, but something that has just a sturdy collar and an extended dramatic cuff sleeve. I just feel like it's a good standard to start with. You could dress it down, you could dress it up, you could pair it with a suit, a blazer, a dress, a pair of pants, a pair of shorts. I just feel like there's a lot of different ways. I actually have a shirt that's not as oversized as I would want it and see it in my mind, but something that's a really good fit, a Frankie Shop button down, that kind of fits that vibe. So I would look to replace that. The next thing on my list, I kind of would go for, and y'all know I've struggled with this before, just finding a new pair or just a good pair in general. I would look for a high-waisted denim, and because I have a history of looking for something like this, I would go straight to Mousy Vintage, which is the jeans that I tend to wear the most, that brand the most. I would also go for maybe Mother Denim and find something, but I would look for a high waist light blue jean that is a straight leg with a very small, not a skinny opening, but something that has a bit of room. So if you wanted to tuck in an ankle boot, if you wanted to wear socks, that it would tuck in nicely, you have a little bit of air flowing through it, but something that's super classic, not necessarily a mom jean, but something that we would wear in the 90s, something that feels comfortable but finishes well, that you could wear with cowboy boots, ankle boots, even knee-high boots. The leg opening should be big enough for that, but also with a nice pump, with a nice sandal, a nice flip-flop, nice sneaker. So right at the ankle, that's something that I would look for. Another thing I would also look for are a pair of really interesting pants. I find that more and more lately, I am overwhelmed with the amount of pants that I have in my wardrobe. I am a bottom girl. Like, I love bottoms so much, and I love pants a lot. And I find that a lot of my pants are pretty simple or pretty clean cut, but I would want to invest in something that's super interesting, something that I've been seeing a lot lately, and I feel like it's not necessarily a trend or something that would lose its flair over time. I think it's very personal to that person's style. The J.W. Anderson pants that have this like wing on the pant, like right where the waist and hips are, it kind of expands out and goes back in like a set of wings. I find that those are really interesting. I think an interesting pair of pants is something I would look for that defies times and time, what's it called? Defies trends and what is considered timeless in a pair of pants. That is something I would look for, because I think that it's just fun and interesting, and it's really about your particular taste. So I find that I have so many simple pants, and yes, I would invest in another pair of like nice black wide leg high waist pants and things like that, but I would definitely look for something that's really interesting, that shows how I think about fashion, how I appreciate art, and just my ability to have fun with different silhouettes. I would also look for replacing a blazer, but I think this time, I don't know what it is. I have a sculpted blazer from Balenciaga, but I think the color is really throwing me off, but I've been wearing it a lot more actually. But I would get something that is like the Balenciaga hourglass blazer with extended arms, because their arms are short on that blazer, and a heavier, thicker black wool material. And I would only go for a black, a navy, or a dark brown. I wouldn't go for a print or a plaid or any kind of pattern, you know what I mean? So I would kind of keep it simple, but make sure that that itself is timeless within the color and timeless within the fit of it. So something that is a super sculpted long sleeve blazer that can stand the test of time, always look interesting, and always look beautifully tailored to me. I would also replace my sweatsuit. I think that Aritzia has one of the best kinds of sweatsuit materials. Their fleece collection, I would get just your half zip pullover with a nice pair of sweatpants that cinch around the ankles really nicely, or a hoodie with the same type of pant. I think that it is good to have a set of sweatpants just to be comfortable in, and have it like clean cut, nice black color, a nice heather gray color. I think is really nice to have, and you could wear it if you really wanted to get snazzy with it. You could wear it with a pair of heels, you could wear it with a pair of boots, or a set of sneakers, right? So I would definitely replace my sweatsuit with an Aritzia sweatsuit set that is just plush, beautiful color, doesn't wash out, washes well over time, and feels so soft to touch. I will also look for a nice pair of high-waist black slim pants. I have my eye, and I'm waiting for it to go on sale. The Bottega Veneta, it's like a suit, but I only want the pants. It's a high waist pant that actually ends in a stirrup. That's really specific, that's really like niche, but I feel like it's personal to my style. I feel like I've always loved a stirrup. It's hard to find a good pair of stirrup pants or leggings that don't look short in the crotch, like, you know, it's like it looks like your crotch is dropping, or that the stirrup is too loose or too fitted around the ankle where you can't even wear like with a pair of shoes and pull it over the shoe, that type of thing. But I would want that as my black pant, because you can also tuck in the stirrup and it could just be a regular ankle pant. But that would be something I would look for. I will also tie that into having a suit. Like, I would want a 3-piece suit to go into my wardrobe that I could break down, wear separately, wear together. I think it's a good idea to have a suit that's a little bit more loose fitting, not oversized, but loose, and just looks like it's falling off of you, cascading type of off of you, type of drape. Something similar to what Sergio Hudson was doing for his spring 2025 collection. That type of suiting, very Bianca Jagger. That's the vibe I would go for when it comes to a 3-piece suit. But the reason I would go with a 3-piece suit is because it could interchange with a t-shirt and the pant, or the vest and a nice pair of wide leg pants, or a skirt. The blazer can go with everything and anything, can go over your shoulder, can serve as just a jacket. So obviously a 3-piece suit, because it can go in so many different directions, so it's a really good investment piece to go for. I would also look for long sleeve fitted shirts, because, you know, they tuck in nicely with a pair of jeans, a pair of pants. You could wear with a sweatsuit, a skirt, mini skirt, A-line skirt. I think it's really cool to just have something that fits nicely down to your wrist and fits really smooth throughout the body. Line by K is known for having really good basics, but elevated and also with a twist. I would go for some of her long sleeve pieces because they just look so chic and they feel really good on the skin. And I don't know how she does it, but she's able to work with materials that are just so long lasting, that don't pill easily after multi-use. She just sources really good fabrications that feel amazing on the body over time. And staying within the t-shirt long sleeve space, I would also invest in like a pack of polo t-shirts with, you know, short sleeve t-shirts, because that also pretty classic. Wear it with a blazer, a pair of jeans, a pair of pants, and some loafers, you know, and they look really nicely clean cut overall. But all of the pieces that I'm mentioning so far, like, you can move them up and down with each other, crisscross them against each other, mismatch. You could do a lot with it. And I will also look for a skirt. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of the mini skirt because of my comfort, my lifestyle. So, you know, I'm on the trains a lot living in New York City. I run around, I'm pretty active. And also, you know, sitting down, I just don't want to feel that I'm not fully covered sitting down. Now, I love mini skirts just as a visual. Like, if I'm going to an event, I'm standing, I'm, you know, doing very minimal movement, then it makes sense to me. Like, I love mini skirts for that. But for everyday use, not so much. It's not really practical for me. So I would, if I'm looking for a skirt, I would prefer a midi or maxi skirt that has a drape to it and also a high slit. I have a skirt from Jacques Lemousse. I think it's from the spring summer collection 22 or 23, and it's not basic by any means. It's super artistic. It has straps and a ball on it, and it drapes a certain way. But believe it or not, with a tucked in fitted t-shirt or a oversized t-shirt, a button down, a bodysuit, it can go in so many directions. It is insane to me how multi-use this skirt would be. So I would look for something to replace it. I would look for a draped high slit midi maxi skirt that is super interesting to the eye, but can go with so many different things and just envelope itself around this personal style that I have created over the years. I love a good drape. I love skirts. I love drama. I love interesting silhouettes or interesting details that can pull together with really basic elevated items. So that would be the skirt that I would go for with rebuilding my wardrobe. And obviously, like in the winter, I would pair it with like a sheer tight, just so I can have some kind of warmth around that, right? But yeah, just overall thinking. I would also look for a maxi dress. Recently I bought an H&M studio dress that is a turtleneck long sleeve backless dress that has like a heavy jersey drape feel to it. It's super easy. You could wear it with flats, you could wear it with boots, you could wear it with sneakers, you could wear it with heels. There's just so many different things about it. And I will also look to replace a leather jacket. I would prefer a motorcycle-esque, oversized, heavy-duty black leather jacket with. I would love to find something that has a mix of gold and silver metallics on this particular piece, which is like Versace has been known to do that, right? But I would go for something that has a mix of metals or just silver detail, but something that will never go out of style. I feel like motorcycle, Harley Davidson looking big heavy duty leather jackets, that is the vibe. I would go straight to a thrift store and look for somebody's grandfather's old Harley Davidson leather jacket to fit the bill in my mind. I would also go for a denim jacket, something that is a little bit bigger. If I'm a size medium, then I would go for a large, because I like how I've been known for taking denim jackets and making them totally different things. Like a regular shirt, it could be considered a regular button down shirt, but mixing it with a button down shirt underneath it, that would be cool. But I like to only button the top button and flow it out like a regular, like an open shirt. I also mix match the buttons and align them differently so it can give this interesting drape and aesthetic. I also like only buttoning one in an off position and putting the denim jacket over the shoulder. I have a video where I styled it several different ways, and I think that to think beyond the box of just what a denim jacket is, it could be so many other things as a top. So I would definitely reinvest in a denim jacket. Yes, I would kind of go for an oversized men's jacket too, because I do love and live within my Frankie shop coat. But these are things that I feel like I could go to a Beacon's Closet or a L Train, which are thrift stores here in New York City, in different boroughs too. They have them in Manhattan as well as Brooklyn, and I could find a lot of these pieces for the low and just also really great quality too. But yeah, I would look for a replacement for my grandpa blazers. And I would also look for a cashmere crew neck sweater, because that also can stand the test of time. It can go with so many different things. It can go around the shoulders. It can go over one shoulder and underneath the armpit. It can go around your waist. It can be worn with t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, the dramatic button down shirt that I mentioned before. You know, I think that I love a crew neck cashmere sweater that is super under the radar, super legacy building wardrobe staple piece, and wearing it with a really interesting, crazy textured skirt, maxi, almost with a vibe of like what Ralph Lauren would do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think that there's a lot of ways that the sweater can be applied to. Yesterday I wore leather pants with a cashmere sweater. Now listen, it's on my list to find. I actually want like a cable knit type of pattern, but I have a sweater from J. Crew that's a cashmere cut. The material or the cashmere of that particular sweater is not that good. Like, it peels really quickly, and I mean, for $75 you pay for, you get what you pay for. But I noticed that they peel really easily and they shrink after washing properly and laying flat to dry. Even dry cleaning, they shrink a little bit. I don't like that. So I want to get something that is a bit more on the menswear side, that's a bit more thicker, heftier, and does not pill. So you're gonna have to invest a little bit in that particular sweater. But there's just so many different ways that I can go about it. And when it comes to accessories, let's talk about it. I would definitely look for, y'all know I love me a good old baseball cap, a dad hat. I would look for both a canvas material New York Yankees hat or an R13 hat, but I also would go leather baseball hat. Like a black leather baseball hat, I think is really chic and can just wear over time, get soft and supple over time. I would love one of those. When it comes to shoes, you know I'm gonna go for a good loafer. Prada loafers for me, I mean, I've had my Prada loafers for I don't know what, 4 years now. They're just so good. They barely crease. They just, Prada leather just wears well over time, and it's classic. It's a classic New York vibe. Wear them with socks, wear them with no socks, or no sock, or no show socks. Tights, knee-high socks, jeans, pants, skirts, dresses. You know, I kind of want to do that thing again where I go with a certain amount of pieces for a month, but loafers have always been incorporated in any of my styling videos or styling 30 pieces, styling the 333s. Loafers are always going to be in the mix somewhere because that's just how good they are. So obviously I will build with a pair of loafers. I would also go for an over the knee boot. I've always loved over the knee boots. I've always loved just high knee boots that can scrunch down or go over the kneecap. I think it's really sleek. I love them. I love for them to look like they can also be a pair of pants if you're being thrifty with it. But I love a good tall boot. A good tall boot. And I would aim for an over the knee because yes, while it's trending for this season of 2024 fall winter, I absolutely not. I am in here. Oh, this is embarrassing. How rude. How rude. This is because I haven't fitted my apartment for proper filming, and I'm looking for a content studio space to build, and I'm just using different spaces in my living building right now, and that's fine. But why would the light just shut off like that while we talking? The lights don't have no respect for me. Anyway, so yeah, I would get a tall boot. Ooh, I would also replace Van sneakers. So I love Van slip-on sneakers. I love the lace-up sneakers. I also would say Converse 70s Chuck Taylors. That is something that I would definitely dig into because they're classic sneakers and they're casual. Now, obviously not for athletic use unless you're doing weight training. Wearing Converse sneakers, flat sneakers, can be helpful if you have a narrow foot, but that is besides the point. We're talking about fitness in a different video, but I would go for a Van slip-on or a Van lace-up sneaker because I just feel like they're very unassuming. They're not really always expected with certain outfits that I wear. Like I wear leather with my Van sneakers, not just linens and cottons and summery things. Like I wear heavy duty things and I throw a pair of Van sneakers on because it's something about the Vans that are, it's like a soft, lightweight, sleek pair of shoe that, again, you just don't think of first. It's an unexpected thing to wear with really intricate, interesting pieces or textures, rather. Like I would wear, what I'm wearing right now, like when I run to the office, I'm wearing a pair of like gray slacks with this fringy coat. I'm gonna wear my Van lace-up sneakers. I'll insert a picture, but that's how I want to mix it. Also, I would look for an interesting pair of heels, and the reason why I say this is like, of course you can always find a good pair of pumps, right? You can always find a good pair of strappy sandals, but I feel like there were so many opportunities in my past where I could have gotten a pair of really interesting shoes that, let's say, if you watch my past video on, I talked about Prada Runway for their spring runway show and how they decided to bring back a couple of shoe silhouettes that they've done in the past that I am so excited for, because those were shoes that I wanted when I was in college, that just, no matter what shoe trends are happening that year, they are art on feet. So basically I just feel that if I were to rebuild a wardrobe and start fresh, I really wouldn't actually go with the most simple heel. I would go really far left with an artistic, memorable conversation starter shoe, because to be honest, mixing and matching with the unexpected and a couple of elevated basics, you can't go wrong. You could wear a pair of leggings, a t-shirt, and a blazer, and boom, that shoe would just pop off everything. You don't need anything else. So I would actually opt for an interesting heel over a simple pump, because you can just go on Amazon and get a pair of pumps for 20 bucks and you'll be fine, whatever, until you feel like investing in something that really gives you what you need out of that. I also would go with a pair of Moto boots, or a pair like riding boot with a harder edge. I think that I've always loved how motorcycle boots have looked over the years, and I'm glad that I have a pair of boots now from Prada, but I would definitely rebuy that, go the same route. But I might actually do a pair of boots that are a little bit more distressed looking, or brown, or like a distressed suede or something like that. But I think having a pair of really cool, and it doesn't have to be like a motorcycle boot. It can actually be like a cowboy boot with stirrups, or like a handkerchief, like something that I can style up, even a Chelsea boot, like a suede. Oh my God, I'm going in so many directions with this. When it comes to a Moto boot, let me pare it down. I would want to have a pair of boots that have a little heel, a nice texture, something I could wrap a red handkerchief or something around the ankle, or a pair of metallic accessories, or a stirrup, something that just looks so effortlessly cool, southern, and rugged. Because it can go with the jeans, it could go with a skirt, it could go with a pair of simple pants, and you want to zhuzh it up and make it more interesting. Those would be a pair of boots that I would go for everyday use. I will also go for a lace-up Oxford shoe, because that again could go with a dress, could go with a pair of pants, could go with a pair of jeans, could go with a skirt, can go with a pair of sweatpants if you're feeling snazzy, because that's what I do from time to time. But a pair of Oxfords that are either like a really nice skin material, or a two-tone, like a white top and a black base, that's pretty cute. I would go that route. And then obviously a pair of running sneakers, because it could be styled in a casual fashion way, but then also for the gym too. But those overall, those would be the things that I would look for. That would be my list of to gets if I was starting with a wardrobe completely over. And another thing I would actually like to throw in there is a suede jacket. Oh wait, coats, because we are in fall, we might as well. I would go with a suede jacket just like what I'm wearing right now, but maybe in black or a dark brown. I would go that route. I will also go straight to getting a long wool coat that is totally menswear inspired, in a tan color or a black color. Like I said, floor length, strong, bold shoulder, but something that could cinch in, that has a belt with it, and just looks like, I don't know, I would do, yeah, like 1980s Saint Laurent bold shoulder menswear inspired coat as my coat. And if I were to go for a puffer coat, since we're going into winter, right? If I were to go with a puffer coat and I need to replace a puffer coat, don't get me wrong, I love a Canada Goose coat. I don't know what y'all were expecting me to say, but Canada Goose coats are really great. Puffer, heavy duty, brisk, cold winter coat. But can you believe Rick Owens? Those soft, artistic looking coats are so warm. They are some of the warmest coats I've ever experienced in my life. I have a short one. I would actually just go for a long, mid-length puffer coat from Rick Owens with a big ass hood and the ribbed, cinched sleeves on the ends of the arms of the coat. I would go that route for a puffer coat, because they are just so weightless. They're very lightweight, so warm, so cozy, and the dramatic of it, that's what I would go with. And when it comes to handbags, I will also go for, you know what I really want? And I would be happy as like for this as my hobo bag, and you're gonna be shocked because I do have the large hop. I have the Bottega one that's beautiful, and yes, I would get it again and again. But I have not been able to stop thinking about the Coach carry-all Empire bag, not the 48. I think the 90 or the 80, the big one. I feel like they made like 5 of them things, right? But they made it in a very distressed tan leather, very worn in. That would be the bag I would go for to do as a weekender bag. And if I were to go for like a classic evening, I would go the Bottega knot, something in a beautiful satin or skin or whatever, but something with the intriato weaving for an evening bag. For an everyday bag, some of y'all gonna laugh at me because you're gonna remember the dupe video that went wrong. I would actually go with a Margot. I would go with a Margot, the larger one, in an interesting like dark green color. I would also go for a I would also go for the Bottega Veneta. I don't know the name of the bag, but it has that one long strap, and then it can move, but it has like a tassel at the end. Very dramatic weaving, intriato weaving style. What is the name of that bag? I'll post it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I would get that in a really interesting color as an everyday bag. But yeah, like I would kind of keep it simple. Y'all know I'm not really a handbag girly. Like it's just within this past year, I've been acquiring a lot secondhand. I would still go the same route again. I would replace my Balenciaga City bag with an older version. You know, oh my God, I want, and I feel terrible for it because we don't really deal with Balenciaga new, but the rodeo bag in the ostrich looking brown leather. Don't say anything if I come around the corner and I'm wearing that. Just don't, because that bag, it is so me. It is so me, and I hate the fact that Balenciaga designed and made it. Okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. But that would be a bag that I would like to acquire if I had to start all over again. But yeah, if I had to start all over again, those would be the wardrobe pieces that I would look to fulfill. And some of them are basic, clean cut. Some of them are interesting with texture and color. Some of them are just not something you would necessarily reach for if you were starting all over again. But the end of the day, I would just want pieces that would inspire me, inspire conversation, inspire interchanging, mix matching, and not you're so basic, like something that would just be fun, interesting, but easy to wear all the time. And I forgot to say, I would also get a pair of wide leg leather pants, because believe it or not, they go with everything. They go with so much. I'm gonna throw that in there. And yeah, if I was starting over a wardrobe, yeah, I would have a $500,000 budget, okay? Make believe. Hush. This is make believe. Why should I have to be realistic with this? I'm a fashion girl. Of course I'm gonna go overboard. And of course I'm gonna assume that I have a very large budget. So if you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you, okay, Cookie? I don't know. But y'all asked, and that's how I would do it. How would you rebuild your wardrobe? What would be 5 pieces you would start off with? Where would you go for it? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.